spend more time thinking about things or doing, like crunching the numbers and working in a startup?
Well, the two sort of go together, because before you can crunch the numbers, you need to think about what numbers to crunch and how to crunch them. So, you need to plan what you're going to do. And it's the same, I'd advise any students of economics to do exactly the same thing. You need to choose how to act, plan it to some extent. Obviously, you've got to revise your plans as things go along. But, planning things is quite important, having an idea what you're going to do beforehand. So, sometimes I do theory, I derive some results to do with various things before I look at the data. So I'm not really an applied economist who just crunches numbers. I come more from a theoretical angle, but I do look at numbers, certainly, and I do do things with run regressions and things like that.
Regarding are you currently researching anything you can tell us? Any topic you find particularly interesting right now in economics?
Yeah, well, it's entry. Dynamic models of entry is something that's interested me. Traditionally, economists have either looked at from Marshall onwards, they look at the long run or the short run. You either have a fixed number of firms or you have free entry in the zero profit condition. And you have a long run equilibrium. So what interested me, starting about 20 years ago, was looking at a dynamic model of entry. So none existed at the time. So I sort of constructed one, which sort of gives you a price of entry, so firms can enter or not, and the price of entry, the more firms are entering, the higher the cost of entry. It's a congestion effect, essentially. So you have a price of entry, and like any other price, it serves to reach you an equilibrium, so firms can choose when to enter, they can delay or bring forward their entry decision. And so when you look at this entry decision, you get the condition that when firms enter, the net present value of the firm after entry is exactly equal to the cost they paid, which is what you'd expect, and firms are indifferent between when they enter. It's like an arbitrage condition. So that's something I'm looking at the moment. Now, it might sound rather abstract, but it has quite a few implications for how productivity, for example, behaves. So that when you have a recession like we had before, there's a fall in demand. Each firm produces less. That they reduce their capacity, they may become less efficient, so productivity seems to fall. But gradually, as firms exit, productivity will return back again. So there's sort of productivity dynamics and other things which this behaviour analyses. So that's something I've been working on for a while, and it's become quite popular at the moment.
Great. You have worked in a special edition of the Portuguese Economic Journal a couple of years ago. Do you see yourself doing again a more editor kind of job, or do you really prefer researching?
No, I don't mind editing jobs. I did some editing for the Economic Journal back in the 90s, the controversies section. I did that for about 5 or 6 years. That was good. I enjoyed that. So there is fun bringing together different researchers and in a particular area. So the Portuguese Economic Journal thing I did was on New Keynesian macroeconomics, which is still one of my interests, very much so. I'll have to see if Lewis asks me, the current editor asks me to do something.
Do you think there's any book or any album, record, anything that has particularly influenced you in your life?
In my life or in economics?
Both.
Well, I tend to compartmentalise my life a little bit, so I do my economics, but I have other interests, history, economics, history and other things, music. Oh, a book that's influenced me. Well, I've read quite a few books, but certainly one that influenced me quite a lot about 20 years ago was Guns, Germs and Steel by Jared Diamond. It's a great book of history, which is
something incredibly funny. Professor Paul Wheat also said the same book.
And we've also both talked about it as well. We've both talked about it. So there you go. That's a secret that some economists out there. Yeah.
As a final question, do you have any advice in particular you would give a new student?
Well, I'll do a plug here. I don't normally do plugs, but I have a website, huwdixon.org, and on that website is a book called Surfing Economics, which is free. And I recommend, it covers oligopoly theory, new Keynesian macroeconomics, and I'd recommend to any student having a look at that. It's free, so where can you go wrong?
Yeah.